Hello everyone, Kelei Taylor from the nation of Hawaii, and today is April 22nd, 2019. And today I'm also going to this is going to be the first of a three-part series. I'm going to try to keep these videos for the Joint Resolution U.S. Public Law 103-150 spread out on 3 different 15-minute videos or less. That way it'll give each of you some time to kind of digest each and every component as we're going through this. The reason why I'm creating these videos is to help you guys access the truth of information that's coming out from the nation of Hawaii, that already has a constitution, that already has their government set up, that has already been restoring and has landmass here on the island of Oahu that validates the restoration process and all of this stuff. It is also the nation leaders now, the head of state, Uncle Bumpy Kanahele, that I've been learning, came back from, the mainland after being gone for 20 years and realizing that I did not know and I wasn't aware of the truths that have, been hidden for some time now. And so, if you guys know me, you guys know I'm all about, leadership, justice, coaching. Before I was invited to come over here and take a look at, what was happening, I was already well on my way to, creating all of my own technologies and finding solutions, not for just the Hawaiians. Until I came home, I realized the importance of that even further. But even before that, it was just people in general. And so I truly believe that if everybody knows this, who is Hawaiian, and takes the time to actually digest it and not come back with a aggressive manner, really not to be reactive, just digest all of this, just know that we have solutions. And that's why I wanted to make videos. I understand, how the media can be put out there. I would ask and request that you guys share this video if it resonates with you and it helps you to understand. Or even if you're angry, please don't go out promoting this information in an angry manner. We are in the age of aloha, which is going to take each and every single one of us to become self-conscious and aware, and also to be in a mindset of sustainable living. And that is what the nation of Hawaii is about, and has already started to move in that direction for, as of this date, 1993, and even before, because the movement was happening beforehand. I also truly believe all of you guys who are in the kingdom would want to reach out to us. You can reach out to me, Kelei Taylor, on Facebook, KELEITAYLOR, and you can also subscribe to this channel, and I will continue to produce information when they become facts versus, just kind of ideas. And then I will encourage you guys to be in some of the communities where we're disseminating the information a little bit differently as we're, opening up those channels for all of you. So just know we're coming from aloha. So if you are, on the other side of these families that we're going to be talking about, and these scenarios that happen to the Hawaiian people, which is now, we know, and we've already proclaimed, our self-determination, our sovereignty, and all of these things because of this. Now it's more about just disseminating the content to people and having them come and find out where the communities they are and want to be a part of to learn more from. And that is what the new digital economy is about, is what are you learning and how are you promoting it or evangelizing it into the new world? Because the new world is tired and sick and tired, drained, stressed, and even to a point at a high level of angst that it's really hard for many people to focus on the direction that they need to go. So we're in a stasis right now where this transformation and transcendence of information and technology is merging together because of the internet. And we have an ability to go out and influence people with significance. And that is the purpose of our life, is really how many people are we helping? And so this is going to give a lot of people an opportunity to stand up without having hate in their heart, dissolve all of that stuff, and then go back literally through language and dialogue to effectively help them resolve, the things, the transgressions of the past, and then also to put you guys in a situation. Hawaiians, I'm going to be your life coach. I'm going to be your business coach, or at least one of them. And relationship coach, and, all of these things, because we do have people who have experience that you cannot take away from other people. And now, being at home, I feel like there is really no red tape in front of me. There is no fear that I have to act out of, in all of this. And so I want to evangelize this message that way. And for those of you who understand the importance of sharing this and how to us, our kupuna, what I learned after coming back and being gone and really not in the movement, and you'll hear my story, I'll explain that in other ways, but you have to tell the truth now. You have to stand up for what's right. We have the law. We have God's grace, even more importantly, on our side with all of this. And so, we get to move in a totally type of new behavior, but also we have to help all of you guys become mindful of how you guys are maybe consciously going about all of this. And so I want to encourage all of you guys to connect with me in different ways. If you want the information even more hand, definitely subscribe to my channel. So let's go through this and I'm going to read it verbatim, which is what we should all do. It's the same thing when you get the Constitution, and you should internalize this multiple times so that your body and your mind start thinking in different ways of solutions. That's why you guys are going to want to be around us when we're talking about this message and, becoming more of a community again, both online and offline. So, let's go ahead and start reading through this. So U.S. Public Law 103-150, November 23rd, 1993, from the 103rd D Congress Joint Resolution. So the first thing that they do is they apologize. So to acknowledge the 100th anniversary of the January 17th, 1893 overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii, and to offer an apology to the Native Hawaiians on behalf of the United States for the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii. So that was step one. Could you imagine Congress, oh my gosh, do I really got to sign this? But yes, they did, which is great because it shows generations later that there are, good people, but where has it gone since then? So number one, when you admit and you say sorry, that's just one thing. Okay. And so when I continue to read through this, you guys, it's going to be heavy. So take a deep breath at each state. You can stop the video at any time if you need to. Okay. And then come back to it. And you can stop the video and read it for yourself and come back to it if you need to as well. But so here are the fact findings by U.S. Congress itself. And I'm going to kind of dive into this because once you apologize for this stuff, you cannot just go back and say, sorry, we can't make things right. That's why we know that this law and the justice is on our side, and that also God's grace is on our side, because we're going to formidably talk about this and then also rectify it in a reasonable manner. Okay. So number one, the first thing they find is, whereas prior to the arrival of the first Europeans in 1778, the Native Hawaiian people lived in a highly organized, self-sufficient, subsistent, social system based on communal land tenure with a sophisticated language, culture, and religion. So this first thing that we need to help you guys identify is nobody owned the land. Okay. Even though kingdom people were here, they didn't own the land. Okay. We own nothing. God gave us the land, right? And I know that sounds silly, but when you think about it, we are caregivers of the land. And so I want to read this again because this is their own fact finding, okay? Native Hawaiian people lived in a highly organized, self-sufficient, subsistent social system based on communal land tenure with a sophisticated language, culture, and religion. So they knew that. Whereas in a unified monarchical government of the Hawaiian Islands was established in 1810 under Kamehameha I, the first king of Hawaii. So I know a lot of people in the kingdom think that that's a great thing. It actually wasn't. After King Kamehameha went away and came back, he brought the first form of genocide to, per se, unite the islands. I'm not too clear as to how you guys think that that's right. So it's the second time that this happened was with the U.S. government and these people, which we're going to extend this to. But that's why we go back to, everybody says, well, how do we get back on things together? How can everybody be a part of it? Well, you have to go through this type of mindset-based system. And that's what we were prior to all of, anybody coming to come visit us and learn from us. Okay. Whereas a unified monarchical government of the Hawaiian Islands was established in 1810 under King Kamehameha I. And then whereas from 1826 to 1893, the United States recognized the Independence Kingdom of Hawaii, extended full and complete diplomatic recognition to the Hawaiian government, and enters into treaties and conventions with the Hawaiian monarchs to govern commerce and navigation in 1826, 1842, 1849, 1875, and 1887. Whereas the Congregational Church, now known as the United Church of Christ, through its missionaries to the Kingdom of Hawaii between through its missionaries sponsored and sent more than 100 missionaries to the Kingdom of Hawaii between 1820 and 1850. Whereas on January 14th, 1893, John L. Stevens, whoever your genealogy is, you might want to come talk to us, hereafter referred to in this resolution as the Kingdom of Hawaii, as the United States Minister. The United States Minister assigned to the sovereign and independent Kingdom of Hawaii conspired with a small group of non-Hawaiian residents of the Kingdom of Hawaii, including citizens of the United States, to overthrow the indigenous and lawful government of Hawaii. Whereas in pursuance of the conspiracy to overthrow the government of Hawaii, the United States Minister and the naval representatives of the United States caused armed naval forces of the United States to invade the sovereign Hawaiian nation on January 16, 1893, and to position themselves near the Hawaiian government buildings and Iolani Palace to intimidate Queen Liliuokalani and her government. Whereas on the afternoon of January 17, 1893, a committee of safety that represented the American and European sugar planters, descendants of the missionaries of the church, okay, and the financiers who supported their being here, deposed the Hawaiian monarchy. They said, "Oh no, we don't care about this," and proclaimed the establishment of the provisional government and just set up shop. They said, "We don't care about all these things. We already know this. We're going to continue to move forward." Whereas the United States Minister thereupon extended diplomatic recognition to the provisional government that was formed by the conspirators without the consent of the native Hawaiian people or lawful government of Hawaii, and in violation of the treaties between the two nations and of international law. Whereas soon thereafter, when informed of the risk of bloodshed with resistance, Queen Liliuokalani issued the following statement, yielding her authority to the U.S. government rather than the provisional government. And she says, "I, Liliuokalani, by the grace of God and under the Constitution of the Hawaiian Kingdom, Queen, do I hereby solemnly protest under any and all acts done against myself and the constitutional government of the Hawaiian Kingdom by certain persons claiming to have established a provisional government of and for this kingdom, that I yield to the superior force of the United Nations of America, whose minister plenipotentiary, His Excellency John L. Stevens, has caused the United States troops to be landed in Honolulu, and declared that he would support the provisional government. Now, to avoid any collision of armed forces." So this is a misunderstanding. Right now, she's alerting the U.S. government, saying, "Hey, I'm alerting you guys that this is happening. Somebody else who's represented from your guys' country and leadership has created a false government, and we honor you, USA, to help assist us because these are your citizens. These are your people." Okay. So now, to avoid any collision of armed forces and perhaps loss of life, I do under this protest and impelled by said force. So she's not coming and saying, "Hey, you know what? There's no urgency." She's saying has to be addressed immediately. Okay. "My authority until such time as this government of the United States shall, upon facts being presented to it, undo the action of its representatives, reinstate me to the authority which I claim as constitutional sovereign of the Hawaiian Islands, done at Honolulu this day, January 17th day of January AD 1893. So we're going to move on into the second video here shortly, but basically what it summarizes for me, and we'll elaborate in future discussions, is that these are the things that the U.S. Congress has found. And so this didn't say, I'm yielding my authority to the U.S. government and there's never going to be, and already on so this is what's crazy, is I come back 100 years later now that this is, and she's dead, right? So some of you guys know she died. We're going to continue to read through this, but we'll get to the next video, and then we're going to, have future discussions, and shows about how we're going to dissect this down for you guys. Okay. So we'll come back there. But again, from aloha to you guys, we're just going to read this out loud so that you guys can kind of, have a storyline and a narrative to have some footprint and some understanding and some legal foundation for all of you who are Hawaiian, to every Hawaiian, okay, every non-Hawaiian who is here. Also, you want to be paying attention to what's happening in Hawaii, because this is what's rolling out, and you want to be a part of the solution versus not having any clarity, and we're going to bring that to you. So a second video is going to come out here shortly. Aloha.